Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cryptic Coil, and in today's video, I have something very special that I want to show you. So much so, I'm outside having a beer like a man and a smoke because I'm here to celebrate. And I want to, include you guys into my little celebration. So let me take another drag real quick. All right. So, I want to show you my baby. Okay, Elvira. Okay, I just got her back. I took her to the shop, got her a makeover, and I am super, super, super stoked. I mean, I, I'm at a loss for words. I don't have the words. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not very good at playing guitar, never have been. But I love playing and listening to heavy metal and rock and roll. It's a huge component of my identity. I mean, I'm one of those people that my personality revolves around what kind of music I listen to. But I quit playing for like 10 years, and then I was talking to some musician at work, and it just kind of lit a fire up under me to go out there and buy another guitar. And I was making better money at that time, you know, after 10 years. And I said to myself, you know what? I always wanted a Jackson Warrior. I'm going to get one. And I used to know the guy who invented the Jackson Warrior. He used to work at Jackson. He was part of their R&D department. His name is Mikey Wright. And I used to know him because he used to work at a local music store. And I had this thing for like 2 years, and I bump into Mikey Wright at like Target one day. And I said, "What's up?" I don't think he remembered me. I don't think he remember. He will. I mean, I have a story for him, and I think I just didn't want to bring it up. But anyway, I told him, I said, "Yeah, man, I always wanted a Jackson Warrior, and now I finally have one." And he told me, "Why don't you bring it by the house sometime? I'll autograph it for you. I do some guitar work out of my house." And I was like, "Yeah, all right." So I went to his place, and I had him autograph the back of my headstock. Then I've always intended this. I knew that as soon as I bought this guitar, I was gonna upgrade it, make modifications to it, and I figured who better to go to than him. I mean, sure, I could go other places in town, but to have the guy who invented this guitar make these modifications for me, I mean, how metal is that, right? So if you check out my Instagram, there's actually a reel of him autographing it. Like I filmed him autograph it for me, and it's on my Instagram. And it was just one of the coolest days of my life. Even though I'm not very good, I probably look like I am because of my long, luscious hair. You probably think, "Oh wow, I bet you that guy is pretty good." I'm not. I'm not. But anyway, let's just get into the modifications that I had to make. Okay, so first of all, let's look at this bridge. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but right there, so it's a gold bridge, and it says Jackson. But if I move my whammy bar out of the way, I don't want to break the headstock off or anything. I don't know if you can see the font over here. It actually says "Made in Germany" by Schaller. So this is actually a bridge. It's a Schaller bridge. It's got the Jackson stamp on it. It says licensed Floyd Rose. I don't know what's going on with that. Well, I mean, because it's a Schaller, it's not a Floyd Rose. But it's way better than the stock bridge that it came with. It came with this thing. It's a cheap piece of Chinese junk. It's not even steel. It's not even like real metal. It's metal alloy. These like I said, I'm not very good, so I'm not even good enough to justify having this Schaller on here. But you know, I was able to afford it, and I wanted it, so I have it. And I feel like it gives me a little bit of metal street cred. I mean, too bad I don't have the chops to go with it, but you know, I'll settle for the street cred. But these things are, you know, if you don't use your whammy much, like, you know, it'll hold your guitar strings in tune. But if you use your whammy, they'll go out of tune. But, uh, you know, that's cool. That's that beer. A beer has never tasted this good before. All right, so another modification that he was really nice to make. So I had Dario locking straps on here, and he actually has some like vintage, like from the '80s Jackson gold locking straps. So he actually swapped. He gave them back to me. He gave me back my Darios, but he put the Jackson ones on here for me just because it's Jackson brand and it's gold, and so he just thought that it would go better with the gold hardware. I also gave him, you know, a gold nut to put on here. And when he went to go put it on, he realized that it fit kind of awkward. It wasn't exactly right. So he happened to have one lying around, and he gave it back. Uh, Gave me the one that like fit my guitar perfectly, and he even gave me this back. And I even asked him like, dude, do you want to keep this stuff for future like projects or anything? And he was like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. I did not bring him this. Okay, this I did not bring him. I didn't bring him that gold input jack. He happened to have one lying around and took the black one off and gave me a piece of gold one. I mean, it's not real gold. I mean, it's just gold painted. But and then because I knew that I wanted to swap all the hardware out, get the black hardware off and put gold on her, I got on eBay and I bought these Jackson tuning pegs, and they're not locking tuners or anything like that. I don't need that because, you know, I got the nut right here. It would have been cool to, you know, just have locking tuners anyway, just, you know, kind of some what's it called, like double security, but I think there's like a cooler term and it's like escaping me right now. But yeah, I think that this looks a lot better with the gold hardware. You know, I also he also took off the black knobs, put on the gold ones for me, and then this was cool. This plastic cover on my tremolo switch, it was black, but because I have the white bevels, he went ahead and put a white one on for me. I didn't ask for that, but he just thought it would look cool, and he actually kind of consulted with a friend, and his friend thought it looked cooler. And I think it looks cooler too. I'm like, oh wow, that's a really nice touch. I mean, it really is. He shined up the frets for me. I am like so happy. Uh, um, oh, one more thing that he did. So originally this had all five springs in here, and the guitar is set up for E standard tuning, and it had all five springs on there, and these are noiseless springs. But he told me that four was all I needed, and I actually kind of expected him to change the spring configuration. Uh, I I was a little surprised when I saw that he left four of them on, and he said that's what I would want. He said you want four, and I was like, okay, I'll take your word for it, man. I'm not. Uh, I don't really know. He said that like two or three wouldn't be very good. Five was overkill. He said four was the sweet spot for her. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I wish I would have brought you the back plate. I have it in my apartment, but because it's got a sticker of Elvira on it, and I named this guitar Elvira. So I name all of my guitars female names, and so this one is Mistress Elvira because Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. that red one that I showed you guys, if you go back on my channel, that red ESP LTD, the neck through one, that one, because it's red and Simone Simons from Epica has red hair, I named that one, Simone, but Goddess Simone, and then Mistress Elvira, but I just call her Elvira. Okay, and then the last mod that I kind of want to talk about is the pickups. Okay, so he even gave me back the pickups. The first thing that I bought and expected to change out on this guitar was the pickups, right? Because they came with these, stock Jackson pickups, and I thought that it looked pretty cool with, a black and a white. And when I bought these Seymour Duncan Black Winters, I wanted to find one with black and white, but I couldn't find one like that for a 6-string. I could only find them like that for a 7-string, and so I just decided to go solid black, and I think it looks good with solid black. Mikey, when he gave me back my guitar after I paid him for his work today, he told me that he likes the black ones, the all black ones, better than the black and white ones. And I don't know, I think that if you throw a rock into a crowd, whoever you hit, it could go either way. Some people will like the black and white ones, and some people will like the straight black ones better. And so I'm just like super happy. A little bit more about this guitar. It's a 2019 JS32 model Jackson Warrior. It's not exactly the highest end, but now it is. It's a neck through. It's not a it's a bolt-on. It's not a neck through. It's a bolt-on neck, not a neck through. My apologies, I misspoke. But I'm good with that. I kind of prefer bolt-on necks because I know a guy who like moved from one climate to another. He didn't know anything about taking care of guitars. It warped the neck, and he can't play that guitar anymore. It's unplayable. And I'm just afraid that something like that could happen to me one day. So I just strongly prefer bolt-on necks because you can always replace the neck on a bolt-on. But, if it's a neck through and something like that goes wrong, which I know is rare, then you're, SOL. And I don't want to be SOL on something like this. I'm lucky enough to live in the same, city as this guy. So getting him to autograph that back headstock, I mean, it's just so amazing, because how many people out there would like to get a Fender guitar autographed by Mr. Fender? What was his name? Leo? Was it Leo Fender? Or have their Gibson Les Paul autographed by that Gibson person or that Les Paul person? I'm sure a lot of people would, and I'm lucky enough to have this guitar autographed not by Jackson Grover, but by the guy who invented this, body shape while he worked at Jackson. I mean, that's amazing. And so this is like a dream guitar for me. I mean, I am over the moon. I'm on cloud 9. This is just super exciting. I love the way these Black Winters sound. I love the way they sound, at least for metal stuff, not really for like, cleaner stuff so much. So this is an E standard guitar, so I might want to get another E standard guitar so I can play like, country and like old school rock and roll and, some like more like hair metal love ballads. Because the Black Winters, to me, they're just a little too brutal for that kind of thing. But gosh, I'm just so happy. I am just so happy. And one of the coolest accessories that I bought for this guitar is the guitar strap. So it's an actual Jackson guitar strap, and it has the, shark tooth inlays design. And it's also got the white binding. I love Elvira. I mean, Elvira came into my life at the right time. She really did. When I hadn't played guitar in 10 years and I pulled the trigger online and she showed up on my doorstep, just based on the way the pictures looked in the listing, I thought that I was getting an all black Jackson Warrior. And black and white is my favorite color scheme. And so when I opened the box and I saw the white bevels, I mean, it was a happy accident. It was a pleasant surprise. It was just amazing. And I just couldn't love this thing anymore. I mean, and I thought that I'd never want anything other than like an old Japanese Jackson, but I think that this Chinese one is legit. Okay, I love the neck. I absolutely love the neck. I love the white binding. If there's one thing I could change about this guitar, I wish it had a reverse headstock. I'm kind of partial to reverse headstocks just because, like, whenever you see a reverse headstock, you know that whoever owns it either plays like heavy metal or hard rock. But it doesn't bother me that it's an upright headstock. Like, I can totally live with that. It doesn't even faze me. But if there is one more thing about it that I could change, I'd change that. But don't worry, baby. I still love you just the way you are. All right. So I showed this off, man. I'm just so over the moon. I can't wait to plug her in and just make sweet, sweet musical love to the best of my ability all night long. To Mikey Wright, thank you, man. Thank you for inventing my favorite guitar shape of all time. Thank you for the work that you did. Thank you for the absurd, I don't even want to call it a fair price. For all that work, I don't want to tell you what he charged me online because I don't want everyone else to think that they would get the same deal if they went to him. It was absurdly... I paid him more than he asked for because my conscience just wouldn't let me pay him that little. It was... Guitar Center would have charged me at least twice the amount. I'm just going to leave it at that. But to Mikey, to Elvira, to me, and to all of you for celebrating with me. I think I'm going to go have me another celebratory beer like a man and make sweet, sweet, sweet love to the best of my ability to my baby. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. All right. Horns up. Peace out.